Hey guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Jon Earnshaw and I'm the CTO at Pi Datametrics, and I'm super excited to be bringing you this live podcast today from my garden shed in leafy Hertfordshire. Gets me out of London for the day, which is always good. And today I'm really excited to be talking with you about these new SERP features that are coming into the platform. Some of these features, some of you will have seen in some parts of the platform, but we're bringing an entire new batch of features into the platform that will allow you to get even more granular and insightful intelligence out of the data. Okay, but let's begin by going back in time and talking about the SERPs. Now, before I forget, which I did at the start, if you've got any questions on what we're discussing today, the email address to use, let me just check, that's webinar@Pi Datametrics. And we'll either get back to you afterwards or I will try and answer those questions that you have live as we go through this session. Back to the SERPs. Search engine result pages. They are changing, and they have changed phenomenally over the past, since 1999, 1998, when I started getting into search. And I remember giving a presentation at Chelsea Football Ground, and the guy that got up before me, he literally got up there and started talking about this new search engine from California, created by these two guys, and you could do Boolean logic in it. You could search using and, or, not, etc. And then you got this amazing list of 10 blue links that you could click on and get to the information you wanted. So I got up there straight after him and I said, no, forget that. That's going nowhere. The search engine that you guys need is Hotbot. And I remember telling these 200 or 300 people, forget about Google, get into Hotbot. That lasted about 8 or 9 months, I guess, before it went belly up. The other guys, on the other hand, did a little bit better. So how are the results changing? They're changing from classic blue links, and here's a screenshot of some wonderfully retro, old school blue links that you could click on. It was clutter-free. It was really cool. It was a world away from those directories that we were all using at that time. We've moved away from that, and now we're looking at entire ecosystems. And here's an example of that. And an ecosystem, it's a reflection of the way that you connect your content and your assets together so that they can be revealed in the search results. And I'm going to talk more about that shortly. Just like every day in search is different, well, every search is different. And you'd be amazed to see how different a search results page is. Say, for example, if you do one at 9 a.m. in the morning, and then you come along later, you do one at 2 in the afternoon or 3. I mean, have you ever done a search, seen a result, and then later try to find it and it's actually not there? Or you saw an image there, or you saw a video, or there was a tweet there. You know, you need to screenshot these because the SERP is in constant flux for many reasons. And I'm going to show you some really cool examples of this shortly. Okay, so here's an example SERP for car insurance. Now, car insurance, it's like a really dull search criteria. Nobody wants to be searching for car insurance. Nobody wants to be clicking on that and paying for it. But it's one of those things that you've got to do. Okay, so that's an example SERP. Here's another one. So here we're searching for bike shop. Okay, but we've got a much more interesting SERP. First big standout thing there. You've got ads on the right hand side. You've got ads at the top. You've got the map pack in there as well. So Google probably thinking here that you want to find a bike shop, not just find information about bike shops. So here we're starting to see how the SERP is a reflection of searcher intent. And there's going to be more on that later. Something's bleeping. My calendar, I'm probably supposed to be in a meeting, but never mind that. Okay, and then as you go further down this result, you can see you've got some classic links there. So classic links are still there, and they are going to be around for a long time. Wonderful classic links with a really nice snippet. And talking of snippet, I've noticed recently that Google has actually started quite often to completely ignore the meta description, even when it's on form, even when you've got the keyword in there, even when you think you're trying to match the intent of the searcher. So Google has been doing some strange things recently, so maybe more on that another time. Here we've got a search for the Queen. So what have we got here? As we move down and we go from left to right across the page, we got top stories. And here you can see you've got the Daily Express, Hello and Daily Express. So that's like a Hello sandwich in the middle of the Daily Express. You got the knowledge panel. Knowledge panels, they will actually change on a frequent basis as well. And I've done a lot of experimentation with knowledge panels, and what I'm planning on doing in a future video is actually show you how to create a knowledge panel for yourself, which is actually really easy to do. And as soon as you do that, if you don't mind giving up some privacy, then you become a thing, a person, place, or thing within Google's knowledge graph. So it's a fun thing to try. Then as we come down, we've got the video carousel. And the important thing to remember here, as we look at this complex SERP, is that different people are looking for different things, and you need to be aware of this, okay? Some people will want top stories, some people will want a video, some people will want just to click on a classic links, others will want to go through that knowledge panel, some people will want to go through a Twitter carousel. And it's super important to remember that you have multiple opportunities to appear in the search results, okay? But in order to do so, you need to get some data out of the search results. You need to understand what Google's looking for. You need to understand what's working at any particular time. And that's what this session is all about today. Here's an example, the Boston Red Sox. So this is a US baseball team, and I love this SERP. Here we've got a panel right at the top with games, with news, with timings. And Google's even smart enough to give me the UK timings so I don't miss out, because the match was actually in 8 hours' time. You've got a knowledge card, of course, but it's actually a really rich knowledge card. And below that, you've got the roster. You've got the website sandwiched in the middle. And that shows, of all of this real estate, the website itself probably makes up about 10%. And then you've got a Twitter carousel. So a super interesting, visually stimulating search result. So this video is about SERP features. So what exactly are they? I'm going to take you through the top 18 SERP features, or search engine results page features, I'm trying not to use acronyms, that are actually coming to all of the platform. And that's what's so exciting. So we got classic links, we've got site links. Okay, site links have been around for a long time. They're often misunderstood. People think you can influence them. You can't influence your site links. You can remove them, of course. Top stories. What better way to get to the top of the search results than to appear in top stories? Twitter cards, text ads, product listed ads. Those are just 6 of the features. Here we got some more. We got the video box, the video link, and the video carousel. Now, I remember last year, the video box started to disappear as Google was replacing it with the carousel. But obviously, they realized that didn't match the intent of the searcher who wanted to see the video box. And if I'm looking for a trailer, just show me that within the browser. We've got images, we've got the app pack, and we've got answer cards. And we're going to talk more about answer cards later and their relationship with other features. And, if we've got time, and perhaps in another session, maybe we'll do a video on that, how to actually appear in the answer card. It's not as hard as it looks, and there is still a huge amount of real estate out there right now, which is unpopulated by answer cards, okay? And getting in there, as I say, is not rocket science. But the data you're going to see today will help you. We've got the carousel, and in this case it's a movie carousel. We've got sports results, we've got finance, a knowledge panel, maps, and people also ask. And I absolutely love people also ask. What better way to get inside the mind of your searcher, of your customer, and discover what they're looking for? How are they constructing their search criteria? I mean, we want to go and speak with our customers and ask them, what do you want? What are you interested in? What are you looking for? Well, the answers are there. So wouldn't it be wonderful if there was a way to automatically monitor that and to extract the data and to be able to take that and use it and form a better informed content strategy? Well, with SERP Features, you can do exactly that. And hopefully I've got some great examples for you today. So, why is it important? Well, a number of reasons. This is all about ownership of page one. And we're not just talking about getting onto page one. It used to be, am I on page one or have I dropped off it? Okay. Remember the boss coming into the room, burst the door open, we dropped off page one. But we need to think bigger than that. This is about not just getting onto page one and in a high position and with a really appealing snippet, but it's about getting as many of our digital assets onto that page as well at the right time for the right search criteria. This is going to bring us increased click-through rates, increased traffic, and increased revenue, and it's great for building brand equity. Okay. And do remember that you don't have to have all of your digital assets on one page, but across multiple search criteria, different digital assets will apply. But it's important to understand where and when and how you need to do this. Okay. And that's exactly why we've created SERP Feature Analysis. What does this do? It allows you to track everything and perform everywhere, okay, across 18 SERP features. And right now there are pretty much 18 search features that are important. SERP features, not search features, although they are features within search. But more will come. Some will disappear. Others will grow and come and change. But don't worry, because Pi is going to take care of all of that tracking for you. So you can go to sleep at night, relax, have a great sleep, wake up in the morning, things have changed overnight, don't worry, you can go to Pi and take a look, and all of those changes will be reflected within the data. And critically, all of this tracking of all of these features is taking place across 4 tracking frequencies. And that, it's not just, I would say this, but this is absolutely unique within this space. There is no other platform that tracks on a daily, a weekly, a monthly, and a 2-hour basis. And you might think, why do we want to track on a 2-hour basis? Why do we want, 48 data points or more like 480 data points to analyze at one time? All of those different touch points. Well, you'll see the SERP is incredibly dynamic. And when you've got fast-moving events, new product launches, things that you want to pay close attention to, okay, competitor activity, algorithm fluctuation, you need to be looking more than daily, okay? So rather than you try and track all of this data across all of your competitors, then Rapid will actually do all of that for you while you're sleeping, or maybe even having your lunch. And this is done across your site and any competitor, okay? And that's super important. And I've got a question here, question from Olivia Taylor, who is the digital manager of a well-known UK retailer. I don't know if I should mention the name. And Olivia's asking, is there any limit to the number of domains that you can track? Okay, so that's perfect for this slide. There is no limit, okay? Absolutely none. Pi is domain agnostic, okay? We collect billions of bits of data, okay, every single day. And the great thing about this is that not only can you analyze your performance in great detail, but you can analyze the performance of any single one of your competitors, and indeed any single one of their pages at any time, at any frequency. And that is super unique. And what does that do? Well, that prevents you from just analyzing your own digital ecosystem in isolation. And you can start to make decisions based upon the performance of all of your competitors. And if you're not looking at all of your competitors, then you need to start doing that, okay? Because you can win or lose visibility and performance, not just down to what Google's doing with algorithm updates, but also down to competitor movements. And in the last broad core update, there was some super interesting movements. And it's so good to be able to see your competitors taking a turn for the worse. It's not so good to see them improving, but if you see your competitors improving through a comparative index, for example, or through analysing a market intelligence report, you can then start to understand exactly what the elements in common with position uplift and good visibility are, and you can take learnings from that. And that's why competitor intelligence is so important. And this is going to be applied across the following tools within the platform. And as I said before, some of you guys will be familiar with some of these features, especially those of you out there who are using Rapid, but many of you won't. And some of you would have actually started to see some of these features arriving this Monday, and more are going to be rolling out over the coming days and weeks. So that's really exciting, and that's a really good reason to be checking into the platform on a daily basis. You know, I can't think of a day in the past few years when I haven't checked into the platform, because there's always something interesting happening. The SERP is so dynamic. Competitors are moving. There's so much going on. You know, I can't live without daily data, and I'm sure you guys can't either. Okay, so first of all, what are we looking at here? We're looking at the SERP Matrix. Now, this is a view that's analysing some search terms. Actually, yeah, I am doing this live. So what we're looking at here is a campaign that's been set up around Brexit. And you can see there's a whole bunch of search terms that we have dropped in there. And each of these search terms, Pi is actually monitoring the top results every 2 hours, analysing every single feature and element in the SERPs that appears and showing you how that's changing. So I'm going to go through 3 amazing tools. The first one is the Matrix. Okay, and this is a Matrix view, and this is basically, it happens to be a 48-hour period. So we're going from, I've actually gone back in time to the 6th of June. We're looking from midday on the 5th of June up to 10 p.m. on Friday the 7th of June. Okay, now what we have here is the top 20 results and all of the possible features that can be appearing. So if I just pick on one time slot here, let's go at 2 p.m. on the 6th of June, I mouse over there. What features were apparent in the SERP on that day? And in actual fact, before I go into those features, it's worth mentioning that Google is spending billions on its algorithms to ensure that the SERP, or the search results, are a genuine reflection of searcher intent. And if they're not, they change. Okay? So what better way to really try and get inside the mind of our searchers and our customers than by looking at this matrix and seeing what the intent is, because these are results that answer questions, that answer queries. So this is almost akin to getting inside the mind of our customers and understanding what they're looking for, which enables us to build our content campaigns off the back of this. Okay, so back to 6th of June at 2 p.m. What have we got? What's in the SERP at that time? We've got text ads. We've got an answer card, which is super important. Okay, we've got people also ask. We've got 3 classic links. We've got top stories. We got more classic links, and then we've got a video carousel. And as we come further down and onto page 2, we've got more classic links. With Rapid, you can actually go into each of those so we can see who returned for the text ad. We can see who actually occupies position 0 with that answer card. And in this case, it's theconversation.com. Okay, you'll notice on some days there may not be an answer card. In this case, they are. For some questions and for some queries, you'll see no answer card whatsoever, and that's an opportunity. And what we're seeing is that Google really doesn't want to put US results in the UK SERP or vice versa, so if you see those, and you can actually get inside the mind of your customer and create an appropriate answer card, then you have a good chance of occupying position 0. Okay, where were we? People also ask. This is such a powerful way of understanding what your customers, our customers, are looking for. And in turn, you can actually extract all of this data, feed that back into a new campaign, and generate more questions and more content ideas. You do that effectively, okay? And you have a good chance of actually getting an answer card. So we're talking about getting an answer card, understanding the questions people are asking, and appearing in a classic link, and potentially a video carousel. Suddenly you start to build out a much bigger amount of that search engine results page real estate. So this really is all about intent and opportunity. And as you move down, you can start to see more results there. Okay, every day this looks different. The other thing, I mean, there's so many use cases for this. The other thing you can do is actually work out, should I be investing in video? Is it simply YouTube that's dominating? Say I've got a YouTube channel. What's the best time to put that out? When is the best time to push out a story to appear in top stories? So much more. I think we'll probably do another whole session on this at a separate time. Let's move into the radar. The radar for me is about opportunity. We're looking at a date range here. It happens to be 31st of May to the 7th of June. And what we're looking at is the appearance of all of those features over this period of time. So as you go around the radar and you mouse over each one of these features, you can see for what percentage of the time that was actually present. We can look at top stories. That was present 67.9% of the time. What percentage of the time was this site there? And then we happen to be looking at The Guardian. That's 23.7%. So more opportunity to get in top stories. Who was in those top stories? Well, the Matrix will tell you that. Okay. People also ask, 96% of the time, okay, people also ask was there. Are we capitalizing on that? Are we actually extracting that data and creating answer cards? Well, no, we're not. Okay. First off, answer cards appeared almost 40% of the time. Okay. This site was never present, so missed opportunity. But the other 60% of the time, that means there is no answer card. So that's an opportunity for everyone. Let's move on to the table. And here's the table. Okay, if the SERP's matrix was about intent and understanding the intent of the searcher, and the radar is about opportunity and capitalization on that, then the table is an answer to the question, how did my content perform? And how did my performance stack up against my competitors? Okay, so here, again, we're in that Brexit campaign. We're looking at a whole stack of search terms within that campaign. And over this period of time, which is 2 days, 6th to the 7th of June, 2019, so we're looking back a week or two ago, the Daily Mail has got 3 bits of content there present, okay? Each one was a classic link and a classic link only. Each one featured for one search term. But the sad news is the top position achieved was 32. That's page 4, okay? So we're sat between page 4 and page 9 for classic links. What's the chance of those pages getting found through an organic search? The chance is 0. Okay, chance is 0. Let's compare that with The Guardian, okay? Now, here is a table of data for The Guardian, and you can already see, for that same time period, they've got tons more results. Not only tons more results, but here we can actually see which features they appeared for. We've got classic links, top stories, video carousel, images, more top stories and videos and more images. And all of these columns we can actually toggle to see, well, which piece of content featured for the most search terms? Which bits of my content that we spent money on producing are performing best? And what are they performing best for? When did they perform? Because you can use that information in so many ways, whether it comes to creating new bits of information or I create a new story, because those bits of content that are performing super well are going to be really authoritative. So getting the right links from semantically related content to your new content will give your new content an immediate boost. So this is phenomenal. And you can see here that for some of these articles that the Guardian's written, okay, they do feature for multiple features. So the Guardian is effectively opening multiple doorways into its world through the SERP's ecosystem. And that's really powerful. Multiple pieces of content featuring for multiple terms, getting some really good positions. But also, what the Guardian can do is see which bits of content didn't perform so well. And we can take learnings from that. And the URL agnosticism of this platform means that if you have access to this feature, you can do this analysis on absolutely anybody. And that is super powerful. So if that's not exciting, then I don't know what is. And what we're doing here is showing you exactly where you perform in the SERPs and for what you perform as well. And as well as that, what your competitors are up to, which again is always super important. Okay, and here we have kind of a view with we've got the Boston Red Sox there. And this is kind of unique because this view is unique because we're not just saying, oh, you have an answer card, or you have a video carousel, or you are appearing in a Twitter carousel. Pi is analysing web pages in the same way that we read them. It's going from top left to right and then back down, left to right, all the way down. So Pi will actually say you feature or you perform well for this particular feature or this digital asset, and it is here. And this one, it is here. So it's giving you a much truer understanding of your performance and the extent to which your customers can actually see and interact with your content through the SERP's landscape. So the question is, how can I integrate all of this amazing data into my work? And here's an example chart. So what we've seen is that different features are actually relevant across a spectrum of channels and events. So here we've got the features down one side. This is just an example. We've got content, we've got PR, we've got paid search, social, and merchandising. Different features, different digital doorways and windows are relevant to different channels. They're also relevant to different events. Crisis management. Okay, when it comes to crisis management, having that ability to automatically monitor the SERPs every 2 hours gives you a really good understanding and opportunity to actually deal with those crises as they happen. Breaking news, staying on top of it, appearing in top stories, handling product launches. So multiple touch points there. And what this is doing, and what this new layer of intelligence and analysis is doing, it's actually opening up the doors to the SEO room. SEOs are now starting to be much more empowered to talk with different teams and work with other teams. And what we're starting to see is that SEO teams or SEOers are speaking with and working with and adding value to what other people in the business are doing. And that is an amazing thing to see, and it's so rewarding. And I just wanted to show you one thing. I talked a lot today about the answer card and about people also ask. And I just wanted to, I actually wanted to try it live online in a second to see if this works. So this is an answer card for Harrods for the search query best designer bags. And look at that. So that's a lot of real estate at the top of the search result. So that actually is the top of the search result. Imagine that on a mobile. Well, I'll show you in a second, but let's see what happens if I ignore all my messages. And I'm going to go to Google. Okay. What are the best designer bags?
Here's a summary from Harrods. Alexander McQueen, Balmain, Bottega Veneta, Burberry, Givenchy, Gucci, Lowe, Moncler, and more.
Now, that's amazing, and that's amazing for a number of reasons. What we're seeing here is a business that's actually used data to inform their content strategy, extracted or began with root terms like designer bags, okay, extracted people also ask from the platform, created new content campaigns, tagged their content up effectively, appeared in the form of an answer card, and thereby ending up in people's dining rooms, lounges, kitchens, when you're having a weekend argument about what the best designer bags are. Okay. Now, there are so many opportunities out there for answer cards. And what does that mean? Not only do you appear in voice search, but also you monopolize the search results. So you can't get much more real estate than that, can you? I really like that. That's just such a great example. But I love voice search. Okay. Right. Okay. So that's the end. So to those of you who've managed to last until the end, just thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all those questions. We got so many more questions that we haven't been able to answer as part of the call. So we're going to get around to those. If you do have questions, any more questions, then you can message me on LinkedIn or Twitter. If you're not a customer, get in touch with us for a demo. There's a demo link right below. So for now, until next time, thank you and have a great day.